Are you serious? There is some apps, folks, there couldn't be more tension in the Middle East than right now. I mean, the 1967 war, yeah, there was a lot of tension then. There's been some conflicts, and there's been some skirmishes, and there's been some battles. But nothing has been brewing and building and anticipating an onslaught attack upon the land of Israel. Now, last Tuesday, I had Yuri on my show. If you go to my Blog Talk Radio, if you go to my show and go to the archives of the July 24th show, it's a 2-hour show. It's on Blog Talk Radio. The name of my show is Coming Apocalypse. It's in the current event category. And go listen to the show. For 35 minutes or so, I interview Yuri out of Jerusalem. And he gives us a powerful understanding of the chemical and biological weapons that are surrounding Israel there in Syria and along the borders of Lebanon. And also, there's the constant threat and information that's leaking from Iran's potential attack upon Jerusalem. And we talk about how that relates to Bible prophecy. Also, you can find, we were talking with Yuri, interviewing him, he talks about how the Israeli people feel about the Obama administration and how their perception is of the Obama administration of them. Critical information, especially when you have the rise of the Arab Spring, which has really turned in the prophecy of Daniel 11, 41 through 45, right down the line. We also talk about Damascus. We talk about those prophecies there. I even ask him, what about the Ark of the Covenant? He talks about it. We cover these things, including the building of the third temple and the peace agreement covenant. Listen to that show. Well, anyway, Yuri will be back with me again this Tuesday, July 31st, on my radio show live. You don't want to miss it. It's from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Blog Talk Radio. If you want to see it and hear it and be a part of the chat, just go to my website. It's easy. If you want to be live, go to my website at www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. Do it next Tuesday, July 31st. July 31st. Don't miss it. Don't. We're going to talk. We're going to dig deep, deep, deep. He spent 5 hours on the streets of Jerusalem interviewing people, critical information. He has critical interviews. We're going to discuss them live on our show July 31st from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's paulbegleyprophecy.com. I want you to know this. I'm pushing you for this because it will change your life. He is a Hebrew man who loves the Lord, and we have found a kinship. Matter of fact, when he was on our show, this is incredible. He was on our show last week, or on the 24th, after he got off the air with the interview. The crowds were huge. We had great crowds. People started calling in. We had 6 salvations that give people, 6 people give their life to Jesus Christ after hearing the words and the discussion and the Bible prophecy and the confirmation that I had with Yuri of Jerusalem. All right. Now, I've got some very tough information coming to me from Reverend Gary of Kentucky. Are you serious? Iran. This is an article in today's Jerusalem Post. It's called "Attack Iran Now." Oh. When an attack on Iran's nuclear program is debated in the public, the main focus is on the Iranian response. Now, quite obviously, the day or week following an attack would be more difficult than the day or week following any hypothetical day on which such an attack was not made. But such a comparison is demagogic. The more correct comparison would be between the long-term effects of the two scenarios. In my judgment, even in the short term, Israel will suffer greater harm if it does not attack Iranian military nuclear program than if it does. I asked Yuri what the people felt on the ground. Should they attack or wait? He said 60% of the people of Israel feel they don't want to, feel they probably need to attack Iran to prevent being nuked by the Iranians. Isn't it sad to think that they're in that mindset right now? The questions addressed here are, how will Israel's armed non-nuclear confrontation change if Iran becomes a nuclear power? What strategic trends will be initiated as a result of Iran becoming a nuclear power? And whether a confrontation is liable to be created in which nuclear weapons will be used. Iran is becoming a nuclear power. This will change the face of Israel's conventional confrontations. Iran's position as a regional power will be immensely strengthened, and its ability to influence the policies of and deployment of force by its cronies will increase. Of course, folks, about 80% of all the oil in the world either comes from Iran or must go through the Straits of Hormuz, controlled by Iran, if you will. If that nation gets its hands on nuclear weapons with this much power of controlling of the energy of the earth, and throw in the fact that they've got a radical Islamic leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and a radical, sometimes in my opinion, delusional president in Maud Ahmadinejad. This guy says he's a distant descendant of the Prophet Muhammad and believes that Allah has risen him to this level for his destiny to destroy, to bring so much chaos in the Middle East and strike into the heart of Jerusalem that Allah himself will release the Ali Mahdi, the 12th Imam, the Muslim Messiah, if you will, bringing Jesus tagging along with him. That's the doctrine of the majority of the Iranians. That's what they believe. Jesus coming along like Batman and Robin? Are you serious? And are they finding gas masks? I was speaking about that bombing, Batman and Robin, at the dark. I'm just throwing this in. I'm hearing reports that they are suspecting a second person involved. And I'm hearing they found one, maybe two extra gas masks, and we're just not getting all the information. I even know there's some folks that are having spiritual dreams and I know right now one person seen this thing before it happened. Stephen of Oklahoma, one of my faithful researchers, actually had a dream, contacted me and my wife, told us what the dream was 5 days before it happened. It was a man in a gas mask, armed, who came into a crowd of people. What Stephen thought in the dream was a church. And he began to shoot and mow down the people. It wasn't a church. It was a theater. Now, he came on my live Sunday night show, what we call Sunday Night Live, and he shared it in a chat. And some of the people in the chat confirmed it. They were there when he was chatting it. It happened 5 days later. Is God showing people stuff? I don't know if there was anyone else involved besides this shooter, but what I'm saying is there's something biblically going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. And I really want to get personal with you for a moment and ask you this question. Are you saved? Now, I'm not saying do you believe in Jesus. Of course you know about Jesus. I know about Elvis. I never met him. You know about Jesus, but do you know him? Do you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ? Have you been born again? Have you asked him into your heart? Have you let him wash you in that precious blood? Have you let him fill you with the joy of salvation? Remove the guilt and the shame and the anguish and the despair and the depression and the fear, and fill your heart with faith. You cannot have fear and faith in your heart at the same time. If fear is there, faith is gone. If faith is there, fear is gone. It's time to call upon the name of the Lord. Send me a personal message right now, right here on this YouTube channel, and title it, I want to be saved. 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 Do it now. I want to be saved. Jesus.